Part 7: Turtlemen, Social Structure and Society. The population density in the Pleistocene was much lower than it is today. A man can go his entire life and know perhaps 100 other men. In his everyday life, he would usually encounter between 3 to 25 males regularly. The larger number being seasonal encounters due to migration or celebrations. Each and every man he met was an important relationship for him. The relationships with the men he was nearest the most were extremely close as they were crucial to his survival. These men had to be there for each other in all ways since a lone man in the Pleistocene didn't have much longevity. With men working and living together, life went from extremely difficult to quite pleasant. The adage, quote, "many hands make light work," quote, is relevant here. The multiple pairs of hands and eyes together, as well as the combined brain, trust gave the Turtlemen an upper hand in their difficult world. The Turtlemen were an all-male society. No Pleistocene homogeneous females have ever been found, especially in North America. Archaeologists make preliminary conclusion reports with biases from their personal, religious, and contemporary social paradigms, and inflict them on the past with no biases in fact. The Red Lady of Pavilan and the Arch-League Woman are just two examples of egregious errors made by archaeologists, trying to prove their biased pet theories. A cursory inspection by someone other than the archaeologist, trying to prove a theory, and both sets of remains turned out to not be females, but Pleistocene-era young males. The genetics of the Turtlemen back this up as well, as we have discussed previously. The question then arises of how did these men reproduce? How did they make more of themselves? We can discern a clear answer if we look at the extant northeastern native mythology, where there are two processes given. The first answer is that the gods themselves would create men as needed, making new ones as older ones perished. The second answer is a new unknown process called Siriogo, wherein two males would create a new human life. The second possibility opens a potential if there having been a different biological process or technology present during the Pleistocene that we have lost. Either way, modern human females are a product of the Holocene. In this all-male society, the strong and crucial bonds between men can be described as brother-lover friends. Without complete intimacy, cooperation, true trust between the men, long-term survival would be near impossible. One of the things that makes us human is the caring for the sick and the infirm. We have quite a bit of evidence that among North American Pleistocene men, we can also begin to look at the Turtleman societal structure on the resolution of a basic social unit. On a basic social unit, which is between 2 and 5 bonded men. They are close related and form the basic family unit. They have a home territory and a seasonal migration route. And that includes all of their necessities: game, fresh water, and needed resources, particularly usable stone, such as flint or chert. This home range would reflect the migration and behaviors of game animals, and the seasonal cycles ripening of useful plants and their fruits. The territories of several groups would overlap, usually in places where there were lithic resources or aquatic resources. Bands of Turtlemen would encounter each other as they traveled seasonally to areas where there were shared resources. Larger gatherings would occur as multiple bands would reach the same areas where fruit came into season, or herds of prey animals congregated in one area. Areas of consistent Turtleman mass congregation often ended up in petroglyphs, being carved and painted on the bedrock. Petroglyphs north of Peterborough, Ontario are a spectacular example of such a site. Mentorship plays a major role in societies such as the Turtlemen. It is crucial for the continuation of the culture that the older/more experienced teach guide the younger/less experienced. It is in this way that the most important aspects of the culture are remembered, shared, and given to the future.